Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. We're looking at something special this week. Sometime back I was on a live stream that my mentor, Hooded Cobra Commander 788, does on a Tuesday night basis. And I had bragged to several of the guys about building some G.I. Joe vehicles out of Lego parts. They asked to see them. And I figured here's a good way to show them off. We'll put them here on my channel. Now, of course, before I get too far into this, I want to point something out. I just built the toys. I did not design these whatsoever. These toys were designed by a group at the website Geewunner. Their main man behind it, Austin, I spoke to him not too long ago, after I purchased a few more plans from his website, well, his Bricklink page, really, and I got permission to show off some of these. These are a couple that I've had the time to build. Right here we have the Trouble Bubble, or the Cobra Flight Pod, and right here we have the Tag Team Terminator, or the Triple T. As I stated, the plans for these are available in two ways, really. You can go to the Geewunner's website, where you can actually purchase the entire toy. You'll get the plans sent to you through an email link, and the bricks will be mailed to you physically, and you can assemble the toy when you get it. Or the second route, which is the route I went, I bought the blueprints individually from his Bricklink page, and then I ordered the bricks through Bricklink to get the parts that I needed. Now, either way is totally up to you. I will have links to both Geewunner's webpage and his Bricklink page down in the description area below. So, please check that before you comment that you can't find it. Check there first. At any rate, we'll take a look at these individually and go from there. Okay, we'll start with the enemy vehicle, which is kind of a tradition around here. I mean, when I review GoBots, the bad guy one is the first one reviewed in the month, then the good guy one. And let's face it, the very first video on this channel was a Decepticon, so it seems fitting we first talk about a Cobra vehicle. This is, of course, the Cobra Flight Pod, also known as the Trouble Bubble. Now, while the cartoon depicted it as being something of a frontline vehicle, it's more suited, really, for patrol than anything else, due to the fact that it is very lightly armed. I mean, we only got a machine gun here, and we have a pair of anti-tank rockets mounted to the side. So it's not going to hold up a lot in a heavy battle, especially if there are more maneuverable fighter jets going past it. And then there's always rather brave and maybe reckless G.I. Joes like Snake Eyes, who have an interesting way of boarding one of these, for those of us who have watched the opening to the 1987 animated film. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any of the real toys of these to compare them with, but many of you G.I. Joe fans would be able to spot any differences between the two. And, of course, a lot of that would come from the fact that you got to make do with what parts have been built by Lego or any of the other groups out there that produce these kinds of things. And, of course, inside the plans as well, it does include instructions to build the aerial mine, which is a nice touch for fans that want that. Now, of course, how does it do for holding a figure? Well, let's get a figure. I happen to have a custom minifigure of Cobra Commander. I bought this at a toy show a number of years ago. I couldn't resist. He, like all the Star Wars guys, when you're done in Lego form as a menacing villain, you look too cute to be menacing. But at any rate, well, we'll lift the dome up. We kind of fold the controls out of the way. We'll put the commander in a seated position here. Bring the controls back up and try to snap his arm. Whoops. Popped it apart here. Get this up and snap it into his hands. Knocked another piece off. And knocked more than one other piece off. Excuse me. Okay, rule of thumb, treat this like a tomato. Don't squeeze too hard. Okay. Now that we got the commander in, as you can see, it does look pretty good. It does look pretty good while we've got him in there. And of course, this should work for some Creo guys, too. It actually does hold him pretty good. I mean, of course, it would be nice if we had some of the stickers. But unfortunately, since the stickers are made for the action figure size, it'd be a little too big. Now, if you really want stickers on this, you just find a sheet that's not been used or a picture of it, copy it, and put it on some sticker paper, and you shrink them. Shrink them down in size before you print them off. Of course, I'd recommend you shrink them, print them off on some regular paper, and then see if they're the size you want them to be. Then you can go and print them on some sticker paper. They do make transparent sticker paper, so it would kind of emulate how they were for the toys. Now, of course, some Lego people are a little blasphemous about putting stickers on Legos, but it's kind of, hey, it's in your home, you can do with it as you please. At any rate, that's the Trouble Bubble. Let's take a look at the other vehicle. And, of course, here is the other vehicle, the Tag Team Terminator, or the Triple T. The personal tank of Sergeant Slaughter. Kind of had to do it since of all the talk about the Sarge lately, especially with the new classified series styled version of the Sarge that's available. That, and on a personal note, I have seen Sergeant Slaughter in person. I saw him at a toy show just before the world went crazy with this pandemic. For an extra $40, when you walked in the door, you could buy a replica of his stick that the action figure came with. And then you could go over to the Sarge himself and get it autographed. Interesting little thing. Now, of course, when I bought the plan, since I bought these by the blueprints, and I got the blueprints for this, it also came with a set of blueprints for the Night Force version of the Triple T, so that was a nice bonus. But at the end of the parts list for the Triple T, it also included a separate list of the parts to change to make it into the mail-away version. So if you don't have a Sergeant Slaughter to drive his official version, you can make the mail-away version that's for anybody to drive. How cool is that? Now, of course, this thing lacks one of the major features on the toy. You don't have the opening engine compartment back here. So, that's a downside. You can't simulate repairs being done to the engine. But it does have one feature that some people may like over the original toy. Take a look down here, folks. There's no fake Wii wheels under here. These are real treads. We got some real Lego treads on here, and it does roll on them. I think I just popped them loose on the opposite side, so, yep, we popped the tread loose on the other side. But we'll bring out the other one anyways. Because this one's brighter colored, and since this one doesn't belong to anybody in particular, I kind of like it a little more. Now, one thing I should point out to anybody that's going to get this, that wants these, the control stick here is going to get in the way if you want to use a Lego guy. So, if you have only Lego guys, you'll have to redesign it without this piece. Otherwise, Lego guys can't get in there. However, a Creo guy can, because his legs can be separated. So, we got Creo Footloose here, without his backpack, because obviously he won't fit with it on. So we'll stick Footloose here in the driver's seat. Now, as an added bonus, the way this was designed up, it has a couple of jumper plates right here in the front and at the back. So the original toy could carry 3 G.I. Joes, one in the driver's seat and 2 on the sides. This one can carry 5 G.I. Joes. So let's load it up. Let's see, I got a Lego custom snow job here. We got a Creo nunchuck. We'll stand him back here some ways. Some way or another he'll go on here. Knocks the gun off. So I guess he can't go on the back. Well, then we'll switch him around. Once we put the gun back, we'll put Snow Job on the back. And we'll put Nunchuck up front. There we go. And we'll turn it around to the other side, and up front we'll put Creo Low Light. And on the back, this ought to drive a few fans wild, we got a custom Lego Snake Eyes. So we'll put Snake Eyes in the back. And there you go. We got a fully loaded Triple T. Granted, this isn't exactly the best way to ride this thing, because you got no protection whatsoever. But then again, this thing was designed as a toy first and a military vehicle second. That, and let's face it, folks, in the cartoon, nobody could shoot worth anything anyway, so what's to worry about? Alright, as we get ready to close the video, I know some of you are probably going, these look pretty good, Sparkster, but why would you do this? Well, one, I'm kind of a Lego fan, so I do enjoy getting to build something rather odd and unique. And number two, in case any of you haven't heard the news, there will be an upcoming role-playing game available for G.I. Joe, as well as the Transformers and the Power Rangers. And I figure that these kinds of vehicles, while relatively on the small side, would suit the purposes for a role-playing game. They're rather inexpensive to buy, to a degree. Some of the larger vehicles that they have there are a bit pricey, but when you consider the amount of bricks that are involved, they're gonna be. But if any of these get broken in battle, all you gotta do is pick the pieces back up and put them back together. So they can be battle damaged relatively easily, and no love is lost out of it. Whereas on the full-size toys, given how rare some of them are getting to be anymore, you break them in a role-playing battle, somebody's going to cry. That and the fact that my friends and I have kind of enjoyed the idea that I did for Dungeons & Dragons, where I created my figures as miniatures with Lego people. So we will show them right here. There's one of them. There's another if he stands upright. And a third one. All those guys were created out of Lego parts and some custom weapons that I ordered from other websites. So they make a great, cute little addition, and I don't have to paint little tiny figures. Granted, Hasbro may not give us little tiny figures to paint for G.I. Joe or any of the other role-playing games, but a little imagination does go a long way. And I figure, as those games come out, and as I get time to build more of the vehicles, we'll be incorporating more of the G.I. Joe vehicles into that RPG when it gets released. If the release dates for the books on Amazon are correct, at the time of this video, it should be sometime in the spring. Towards the end of April or early May is what I've been seeing so far. So if you're interested, keep an eye out for the role-playing books. I already ordered the Transformer one and will be reviewing it when I receive it. I know some of my chums have ordered the other books, and more than likely they may loan them to me to review on the channel as well. But at any rate, that's my look at a Lego-fied version of the Trouble Bubble and the Triple T. Once again, want to give a special shout out to Austin at Geewunner for allowing me to review these on the channel. And my fans, if you want to see more of these vehicles, please give me a shout in the comments. I don't have all of the plans that are available on their website, but I do have quite a few and will slowly be trying to build them up. So if you want to see more, give me a shout out and more will be put up. Remember to also, please, do like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel, especially if you like this kind of content. I do appreciate the feedback. This is Sparkster1701 saying, remember, let your imagination soar. That's how we kept our adventures going as children, and that's how we keep our lives going as adults. Until next time, I'll catch you all later.